Hi, this is Mark Kelly from Marillion, and you're watching MOROW.com.
You brought no sense of shame, but now I'm older, I've come to understand. Once
Well, we started writing it in around about 2009, I think. So it was a few years, but we didn't just do that, we did other things as well. We did the Less Is More album, and we did various tours and stuff. So it wasn't continuous. I think if we'd been working continuously on it, it probably would have taken about maybe 6 to 9 months. So it's still quite a long time, but not so long. I mean, it didn't take as long to make as, say, Brave did, for example. So it's quite a long time for us, but not the longest.
one day I'll play you sounds that can't be made.
There was a bit of a. We went to Portugal to write for a few weeks, and it wasn't very productive, and so we decided to take a break, and we had 6 months apart where we just did other things, and then we came back together again. I think it was 2010. We came back together again because we had to do some touring. We had a tour with Deep Purple in Germany. So after about 6 months, we came back, we did the tour, and everybody was getting on very well, and we said, okay, we should maybe try and get back in the studio and start writing again, and that's what we did. So, it was just one of those things. We'd been working together for a long time, so, occasionally things don't quite go according to plan, and it's good to be able to take some time off, and do something else.
Lids that close and time.
It's hard to say which is the best song that we've written, but I think it's one of the best songs, yeah. We had quite a few musical ideas that, the way we work, we come up with some musical ideas, and sometimes we can immediately find some lyrics that Steve has written to go with it, and we create a song, not without too much difficulty. Other times there might be lots of musical ideas that sound like they maybe would go together, but we haven't got the lyrics. And so Steve Hogarth was working on some lyrics which were about Gaza, and this music sounded like it should go with these lyrics, but then Steve was a bit worried that he wasn't really feeling very good about writing about a subject that he felt as an outsider. So we said, oh, but this music's really good, we have to do it, And so he said, well, if we're going to do it, he said, I have to go to Gaza and see for myself what it's like. And so we did some research, and managed to get through a friend of the band. It was Diana, who was, from the Web Spain. She put Steve in contact with a girl in Gaza who was working for a charity, and she said to Steve, don't come here, because if you come, you won't get back out again. You could be stuck here for months. So she said, but I can put you in contact with people, and you can talk to people on Skype. Ordinary people living in Gaza. So that's what he did. Every weekend he would Skype different people in Gaza, ask them about their story, what it was like living there, their families, and from that he built up a picture of what it must be like there, for people living in Gaza. And he also spoke to some Israelis about how they felt about what was happening in Gaza, and then he felt more comfortable with writing a song about it. There's still problems in the fact that some people think that it's an anti-Israeli song, but it's not. It's a song about. It's a song written from the point of view of a child living in Gaza. It's not meant to be having a go at the Israelis or the Palestinians. It's not supporting terrorism. It's not. It's a song to try and raise awareness, and not to blame anybody, but just to say that this isn't right. People should live like this, and we all need to do more. So that was really what it was about. But musically, for me, it was really, a really good song to write. and I think it's turned out really well.
You never knew how to do. You thought that
It was great. It was really good. We had a nice time. It was a very enjoyable tour. You know, we've had tours in sorry, did you say South America?
South America.
Oh, South America. It was a long time. Yeah. Yeah, it was more than 8 years.
15 years?
15 years, sorry. North America was 8 years, sorry. Well, both tours were good actually, because we haven't been to North or South America for so long. Yeah, I mean, you know, we should try and go there more often, but it's so difficult to, especially in South America, to organise a tour because political situations changes, the economies change all the time. You know, countries, you know, one year they can be doing really well and the next year they're bankrupt, you know, like you know, Argentina went through a crisis in the 90s, didn't it? And Venezuela, there's difficulties there. So it is a challenge to go to these places, but it's worth it because the audiences are really enthusiastic. We had a great time in Chile. There was, you know, big venues and lots of people. Really, really nice. So it was good fun, you know. Things have changed. I mean, for a start, the first thing is, it is cheaper to tour these days. Equipment has got smaller. We don't have to carry as much stuff with us. You know, lighting equipment's cheaper and smaller and lighter. PA equipment's the same. You know, so it is economically easier. But the North American tour, the reason we never played there for 8 years, because it was very difficult to make a tour that wasn't going to lose lots of money. A bit like in the 90s when we had the tour fund, but you know, we worked out that if we were to charge $50 a ticket, then it would work. It would, you know, we would make a small amount of money and it would be fine. But there was no promoter that was willing to book a Marillion gig for $50 a ticket. They thought nobody would come, and we said, "You're wrong." And it took 8 years to finally convince them that we were right, and we were. You know, quite a few of the shows were sold out. It was, you know, we tried this idea of doing two shows in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles, which is quite a good way of touring, and it means that quite a lot of people will come twice because we're doing different songs, you know. So it was a good tour, and the South American tour. I mean, it's hard. We can't go on tour and lose money because we don't have that much money to throw away, you know. So if we do a South American tour, we have to look at the figures and go, okay, can we make this work? And it was fine. We did that one as well, and it was good. So yeah.
you carry me around.
No. You mean in France?
In France.
No, we decided not to do it because we didn't think that the band was right for the types of music. You know, the type of music was a lot of very heavy metal bands with, you know, raw vocals that sound like that, you know, growling, you know, Slayer. I mean, you know, we'd be okay with an Iron Maiden audience or with a Motorhead audience a little bit maybe, but some of those bands were so heavy that I just didn't see that they would be interested in watching Marillion, so we decided it wasn't really right for us. So that's why. If I had the time, yes. You know, unfortunately, last year when I was going to play with them for a few shows, I decided not to do it because I developed this hearing problem last January, and I didn't think I would be able to do it because my hearing was quite bad. But it got better, and it's been fine touring with Marillion. The first Marillion tour was in June in North America, and by then my hearing had improved quite a bit, so it was okay. But in the future, yeah, it would be fun, but you know, I need the time to rehearse with them. They live in the north of England, I live in the south, so you know, with all my commitments for Marillion, and I've got a family at home, it's difficult to make it all work, but you know. But yes, possibly at some point in the future I will do some gigs with them. And we're planning to make another album as well. So.